Good day, guys. This is chapter 6 of physics, no? And we will be discussing elasticity. So this is just introductory. It will be discussed further and more in-depth sa inyong strength of material subject. To start, let us first define kung ano siya. So si elasticity is the property of a material to revert to its original shape and size after nating tanggalin yung force na nag-a-act at nagde-deform sa kanya. So let's say meron tayong object and hihilain natin yan sa magkabilang dulo with the same magnitude of force. So let us have a little bit of review, guys. So if meron tayong external forces as such, then this means na yung object or yung system natin is at static equilibrium. Tama ba? So hindi siya gumagalaw, no? Pero ang mangyayari sa object natin in this case is magde-deform siya. Ayun yung bago ngayon dito, no, na hindi pa natin napag-usapan before. So ayan, magi-stretch siya. Pero pag tinanggal natin yung force na yan, babalik lang siya sa dati. So ayun yung elasticity. And lahat naman ng material meron yan. Magkakaiba nga lang. Merong mga material na mas mataas yung elasticity, meron ding mga mas mababa. And yung elasticity ng isang object, guys, is defined by its elastic limit and the modulus of elasticity, which we will be discussing later on. Ngayon, discuss naman natin etong si Hooke's Law, no? So etong Hooke's Law, nanggaling siya kay Robert Hooke and from the experiments he conducted during his time. So si Robert Hooke dati, nagsuspend siya ng mga springs, wires and rods. So parang ganito yung ginawa niya. Then nag-attach siya ng mga weights sa lower end, so dito, no? So kumbaga merong hila dito galing sa weights. In our case, sabihin na lang natin that that is an applied force F. So madaming beses niyang ginawa yan. Tapos pa iba-iba yung weights na nilalagay niya. So side quest lang tayo ng onte Balikan natin yung static equilibrium natin. Since suspended to sa taas, ibig sabihin, hindi ito gagalaw. So there should be a force resisting this applied force para masabi natin that this is at static equilibrium. And yung force na yon is etong reaction natin dito sa taas, which we are denoting here as R. And R is simply the negative of the applied force F. Okay? So going back, since at equilibrium siya, at kumbaga parang hinihila natin yan sa magkabilang dulo, then tulad nung pinakita ko kanina sa elasticity, no, the object itself will elongate or deform. So ito yung deformation natin, and let us denote this as our delta L. And this is exactly what Robert Hooke was observing sa mga experiments na kinonduct niya. So tinatanong niya dati, ano ba yung i-elongate or i-deform ng object at different attached weights? So ayun nga, ginawa niya ng madaming beses, no, with different weights. And Robert Hooke found out that the applied force F is directly proportional to our elongation. So if we create an equality from this, so ito yung magiging equation natin. So magkakaroon tayo dito ng constant of proportionality K, which is our stiffness coefficient. So from the name itself, K just tells us how stiff the material is. And ang ibig sabihin niyan, pag mas mataas si K, mas mababa yung magiging elongation natin. Kumbaga, mas mahirap i-stretch yung object. Okay? So, etong Hooke's law yung nagde-describe sa elasticity ng isang object, guys. Okay? Pero, etong Hooke's law, guys, is only applicable up to a certain point. Mapapansin nyo din naman yan Say for example, sa mga rubber bands. If you stretch it too hard, di ba pwedeng di na yan bumalik sa dati? So, hahaba siya permanently. Or if sobra-sobra yung pag-stretch mo, possible na mabali or mag-snap yung rubber band. So, merong limit yung pagiging elastic ng isang object. Now, let us try to look at this force elongation graph para ma-discuss natin to further. So, initially guys, materials behave elastically. So, this equation applies, no? So, di ba linear equation to? Therefore, yung curve natin dito is linear. So, ayan siya. But then again, hindi naman yan tutuloy as linear all throughout. Kasi nga, sabi ko, there is only a limit to an object's elasticity. So, as I said, no, applicable lang si Hooke's law up to a certain point, and that point is the proportional limit. After nyan, mag-iiba na yung curve natin. So, para magiging ganyan siya. And eventually, mapuputol yung curve natin. Kasi nga, yung object natin, mafa-fracture na siya or mabe-break. And ang tawag naman natin dyan is the breaking point. So, there is also a point after the proportional limit called the elastic limit. Ito naman yung limit ng pagiging elastic ng object natin. So, at this magnitude of force, pwede pa ding bumalik sa dating shape yung object. And note lang guys, no, the elastic limit is not necessarily within the linear curve. So, ito yung minention pala natin kanina, no, na nagde-define sa elasticity ng isang object. So, etong region pala, tinatawag nating elastic region. So, within this magnitude of force and amount of elongation, the object still behaves elastically. So, within this force and the elongation, no, babalik pa din sa dati yung object natin. After nyan, the object behaves plastically. Meaning, once na nandyan na siya, permanent na yung deformation or elongation natin. So, hindi na siya babalik sa dati niyang shape. So, this is called the plastic region. And then, at the peak of our curve, so we have here our ultimate strength. So, ayan na yung pinakamataas na force na kayang buhatin ng object bago siya pumalya. Kasi after nyan, hihina na siya and then eventually magfa-fracture or magbe-break. Okay? O ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin yung Young's modulus of elasticity. So, our elongation or deformation actually depends on the force applied, the material the object is made up of, and yung dimension ng object. So, going back to the Hooke's law, guys, pag nire-write natin siya in such a way that we can make an equation for the elongation, magiging ganito siya. Now, we want to write this equation, no, in terms of the factors na pinakita natin. So, yung force, dimension, tsaka yung material. And it will be like this. So, F here is our force. Okay? Our E right here defines the material the object is made up of. And etong A naman, which is the cross-sectional area. And etong L0, which is the original length of the object, is the dimension na tinutukoy naman natin. Okay? And so, we can say, guys, that our stiffness coefficient K is simply AE over L0. So, our E right here is the Young's modulus of elasticity. So, ito yung nagde-define sa elasticity ng isang object. And etong E depends on the material. Pag mas malaki yung E, mas stiff yung object. Meaning, mas mahirap siyang i-deform or i-elongate. Okay? So, answer tayo ng isang example lang, no? Para magamit naman natin kahit papano yung mga equations na pinagdi-discuss natin. So, sabi, a 1.60 meter long steel piano wire has a diameter of 0.20 centimeters. So, how great is the tension in the wire if it stretches 0.25 centimeters when tightened? So this is our long steel piano wire which has an original length of 1.60 meters. Tapos hahaba daw yan by 0.25 centimeters pag hinila. Okay? So dito guys, we will be solving for the tension force. Yung magnitude ng hila natin. So to solve this, we will be using this equation. So lapag muna natin lahat ng given. So we have here the length, the diameter of the wire, the elongation, and etong modulus of elasticity naman can be determined based on the material. Since steel daw to, no? So this is always 2 times 10 raised to 11 newtons per square meters. So as civil engineering students guys, dapat sinasapuso nyo yung value na yan ha. Kasi madalas na gamitin yan in your higher subjects. Okay? So looking at the equation, we pretty much have everything already. syempre yung F matitira, yung A na lang yung wala. Pero, we have here the diameter. Okay? Pagka tinignan natin ng malapitan yung wire, eto siya. Okay? So, yung cross-section nito is circular. So, the area that we need here is the cross-sectional area. So, etong blue. Since circle yan, guys, kailangan lang natin ng equation for the area of a circle. So, that is pi d squared over 4. Kasi nga, diameter yung given, di ba? And then, substituting values, we will be getting pi times 10 raised to negative 6. So, kompleto na tayo, no? Pwede na tayong mag-substitute ng values sa equation natin for elongation to solve for f. So, ayan, substituting values, f na lang yung natira. So, solving for f, we will get 981.7477 newtons. So, ayan na yung sagot. Okay? Ngayon, discuss naman natin itong stress. So, let's say, meron tayong object as such. And sabihin natin na meron tayong equal external forces at both ends ng object. So, meron tayong hila sa magkabilaang dulo with the same magnitude, meaning at equilibrium tayo. Okay? So, what we want to do is putulin tong object na to, pero hindi literal . So, we just want to make an imaginary cut or section dito para makita lang natin yung loob. Okay? So, doing that, magiging ganito siya. Tapos, merong lilitaw dito na internal forces that are counteracting this external force. So, etong F na to, equal lang siya dito. Okay? So, eto, nire-represent lang natin siya as a single arrow. Pwede ding multiple arrows, no? Pero in reality, the internal forces are just distributed all over the entire cross-sectional area. So, it would make more sense to talk about stress dito kesa internal forces. Kasi nga, that is exactly what stress is, no? Yung quantity that describes the distribution of internal forces sa cross-sectional area natin sa loob. So, the stress is written as force all over the unit area. So, denoted si stress by sigma. Eto. And the unit for stress in SI units is newtons per square meters. Okay? So, let us also discuss strain. Kasi ito, magkapatid to si stress tsaka strain. Sa strain naman, guys, balik lang tayo sa isang figure natin kanina. So, we have a suspended object, tas meron tayong hila pababa. So, this will deform. Again, ito yung elongation or deformation natin na delta L. Ito naman yung original length natin. So, yung strain, guys, is just the ratio of the elongation and the original length. So, this tells us how much a material or object deformed compared sa original size niya. So, i-divide lang natin yung dalawang yan para makuha natin yung strain. Okay? So, this will be our equation. So, our strain is denoted by an epsilon. So, let us also briefly talk about the relationship between the stress and the strain. So, balik lang tayo sa equation natin kanina for elongation or deformation. And then, rewrite lang natin to, no? So, we have here F over A, which is our stress, no? And this is equal to E times delta L over L naught. So, ito naman yung strain natin. Pag pinalitan natin yan, this will be stress sigma equal to E times the strain, which is etong epsilon. So, this is the very famous formula that shows the relationship between the two. Okay? So, the stress, guys, is directly proportional to the strain. Pag tumaas yung stress, tataas yung strain. Ganun lang yon. Okay? So, this ends our discussion for this chapter. And gusto ko lang sabihin, no, na puro hila lang yung diniscuss natin dito sa puro elongation lang yung deformation natin. But this is only for the sake of discussion, Actually guys, madami tayong klase ng stress at deformation. Hindi lang limited sa laman ng discussion natin. So, contrary to elongation, meron din tayong shortening pagka yung object is na-compress instead na natitense. Meron din tayong sideways na deformation. Meron din tayong torsional or yung paikot. Okay? But again, this is for the sake of discussion para mas simple lang yung nade-deliver sa inyo para lang ma-introduce or maipakilala lang natin no for the meantime yung mga concepts nito. Okay? Ayun lang naman. Sige na, bye-bye.